All right, guys, day 2, the middle layer. The middle layer's kind of cool, kind of funny because it's most people can solve one layer, right? But the middle layer, you have to do it without messing up what you've already done. And it's really easy. It's super easy. There's an algorithm. And the cool thing about the middle layer is the algorithm is very fast, okay? It's an extremely fast algorithm and easy to do. And once again, like the first layer, it has a mirror opposite, okay? The only move you have to know, there's one move, that's it, one algorithm, and you're good to go for the whole middle layer. The algorithm is basically this. It's up, right, up prime, right prime. Remember, prime just means counterclockwise, okay? And then the opposite, which would be up prime, up right. So, okay? And so what that means is basically this, watch. So up, right, up prime, right prime, okay? Then turn and face the white dot, and then use the opposite hand. Up prime, right, left prime, up, right. Oh, this is so cheesy, but this is an L prime, okay? So it's like that. I am so sorry. But it is super easy, okay? Super, super, super easy. So the algorithm is basically this. I don't even, it's up, right, up prime, right prime. Spin it to the white dot faces you. The same thing with the opposite hand, you know, which would be up prime, left prime, up, right. Because it's so easy, I don't even like saying that because it messes me up. I like just saying flick. Like you take your right hand, your index finger, flick up, flick back, turn it to the white dot, use the opposite hand, flick up, flick back. That's all it is, okay? That's literally all it is, starting with the right hand. Watch, flick up, flick back, spin it to white faces you, left hand, flick up, flick back, okay? So think about that, flick up, flick back, turn, flick up, flick back, turn, flick up, flick back, turn, flick up, flick back. It is, that's it. That's all you need to do to solve it. So how that works is just like this. The center pieces don't change. That's how we know from the first video. That's red, that's green, that's orange. This whole face is going to be orange because the center is orange, okay? So the middle layer is technically this layer that I'm turning, okay? There's only 4 cubes that we have to solve, these 4, because you can't count the middle. So there's only 4 cubes. How we do that, we look for the edge piece. This is blue and red. And what we do is we put it where like the bottom color that's facing us, not the top one, the bottom one, we line it up with its own color. So this goes over red, so like that, okay? So blue, red goes blue, red. So this piece is gonna go here. When you think about it, it can either go here or here, that's it. So it's either gonna go left or right. And that's the magic, is you line this up and it tells you what hand to start with. This goes to the left, thus I start with my left hand. And so just like on the paper here, it's the same pattern, watch. Flick up, flick back, turn it so white faces me, and then do the opposite with my right hand. Flick up, flick back. And look, it's in place and nothing else is messed up. That's it. So the next one, orange, blue, I'm gonna put blue corresponding. It goes to the left, so I start with my left hand. Flick up, flick back, spin it so white faces me, use the opposite hand. Flick up, flick back, and it's magically in place. The next one is this one, green and red. We'll have to put red over its thing. Now this one goes to the right instead of the left because green's over here. All that means is I start with my right hand. Watch, flick up, flick back, spin it, flick up, flick back. Simple as that. The last one is this one, green and orange. I line up green. It goes to the right so I use my right hand. Flick up, flick back, spin so white faces me, use the opposite hand. Flick up, flick back. And I solved the whole middle layer. So the only thing left now is the last layer. It's as simple as that. So I take the other cube and the same thing. Let's look for these pieces. Here's a piece right here. It's already in place actually. It goes to the right. That tells me what? I start with my right hand. Flick up, flick back, spin it so white faces me, use the opposite hand. Flick up, flick back. Okay. Here's one, green and orange. I need to rotate it so the colors match. This time it goes to the left. That means I start with my left hand. Flick up, flick back, spin so white faces me, and do the opposite with my right hand now. Flick up, flick back. Okay, next one is, here's red and green. Let me find green. So this goes here to the left. I use my left hand. Flick up, flick back, turn, flick up, flick back. And last one, this goes here, left hand, flick up, flick back, turn to white faces me, flick up, flick back. And everything's solved except the last layer. So let's do that again. Let's take mess some cubes up. The cool thing about this is it's very easy to do fast, right? Very easy to do fast. It just feels good. Like the algorithm feels really, really good. There, so it's all messed up. So I'm gonna do one a little bit faster now, okay? So I'm looking at this, red, green. I put it over it. I know it goes to the right. So I'm gonna go boom, boom. Red here. I know it goes to the left. I start my left hand. Blue, green, or green, orange, sorry. And same thing. This goes to the right. Boom, done. So that's how quick you can do the middle layers. Now this one I'll do a little bit slower. This is already lined up. It goes to the left because it's not going here. That's orange. It's going here. That's red, or here, I mean. So this, remember, this dictates which hand you start with. That's all it is. This goes to the left. I start with my left hand. So flick up, flick back, turn always to white faces me, and use the opposite hand. Flick up, flick back. It's a very easy algorithm to memorize. I'll line up blue. That goes to the right. I use my right hand to start. Flick up, flick back, turn to white faces me, and flick up, flick back. Okay. Next is this. It's not in the right spot. I need to line up orange. It goes to the left. I start with my left hand. Okay. Flick up, flick back, turn to where white faces me, flick up, flick back. What do we got here? Oh, orange and blue. I line it up. It goes to the right. So I start my right hand, flick up, flick back, turn, flick up, flick back. And that's it. The middle layer is very, very, very easy. And you can usually, I mean, it's one of those ones you can just do quick. Once you do it a little bit, it'll feel so natural, more so than these. These are much more complicated. This one just feels, because it's, right? It just feels good, you know? It just feels like really, really good. Anyways, okay. So, oh, we got one more out of place. So this goes to the left. I start with my left hand, flick up, flick back, flick up, flick back. And I would say that too. I wouldn't, once you do it and you get the algorithm where it's like up, prime, right, prime, I would literally say, if you know you're gonna start with your right hand, say to yourself, flick up, then the opposite hand, flick back, turn to white faces you, use the opposite hand, the same exact thing, flick up, flick back. And you can see things line up. Like once you're going flick back, you see that it lined it back up. So your brain doesn't really say these, like this doesn't really go through your head, even though You learn it with this, because people look at this and they're like, man, this sucks. I don't, especially if you want to get good and there's a list of them to memorize. You're not really, you're memorizing them, but you're only putting this in your brain to learn the pattern. Once your fingers know what to do, those, right, up, down, it doesn't go in your brain. It's more muscle memory at that point, okay? So keep that in mind, because I know when you see this, it's off-putting, right? You look at this and you're like, I do not want to, it looks like algebra or something, right? Like, I don't want to learn all this stuff. But that's just to do the pattern, and then your natural ability with how your fingers work take over the rest. It becomes just a pattern, right? Like flick up, flick back. You don't even got to think about it, right? You just boom, boom. It just does it, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, let's finish this up with the last one. This goes to the right hand, boom, boom. This goes to the left, or to the right also, boom, boom, and boom, boom. And we're done. Okay, so we got both cubes done. The middle layer is done. The last layer is the only layer that's left, okay? So that's the middle layer, and those are the algorithms to practice, and I'm sorry about this. It's the mere opposite of this, okay? So that is the middle layer.